Hi all, Mike here with Cinesamples, and this is the CineBrass Pro update video. If you guys haven't checked out the CineBrass Core video, you should check that out first. And this is going to go through all of the new features in CineBrass Pro. So I kind of mentioned this already in the first video, so I'll do this really quick. So some of the main new features that were implemented for both the Core and the Pro library were a brand new graphical user interface. As you can see, we kind of copied the interface that we've put into CineWinds and CinePerk. We also have an all-new mixer presets window, an all-new mapping engine. We have an all-new settings page, and some of the things that we've also added to the settings page are round-robin control with release delay and release trigger controls. And most importantly, the thing that a lot of people asked for was legato speed control and a volume control of the legato. So we have two knobs there for that. And then we also, overall, we improved the intonation of everything, as well as volume leveling. And then we also went through a whole list that we compiled from all of your feedback over the past few months. So that's been implemented as well. Okay, so let's get right to it. I'm just going to do a basic walkthrough of all the patches. A lot of this is stuff you've seen already in the previous videos, but for those of you who do not have CineBrass, this might be helpful. So CineBrass Pro, here we go. This is the first one here is the Trumpet solo articulations. Okay. It's a solo trumpet. Now you notice there was some legato in there, and that's in order to get into legato mode, you just hold down the sustain pedal. And we also, I kind of mentioned this already, we split out the true legato patch from the articulations just to kind of give composers flexibility, but you can just load up the articulations patch and it gives you all the same functionality. All right, let's move on to Trumpet Ensemble muted articulations. And I'll let you know when we have a bunch of new patches here too that we are going to hook you up with. So I'll let you know when those come up. So this muted articulations. Let me record enable the appropriate track. Trumpet muted articulations. Now this is a straight mute, and it's two guys playing it. Sort of your standard orchestral mute. Whenever you say, if you write an orchestration, mutes, this is what they put in. Okay. And then we have a Trumpet Ensemble Harmon mutes. We have horn solo articulations. To the, we'll skip the true legato, that's what you just heard. We have horns stopped and fluttered. We have the stopped stuff is all down here, right? And we got shorts as well, right? Okay, and then up here, this is the flutter tongue. Now we have two patches here for horns. We've got a Triad Chords patch and a sevenths chord patch. Now we actually sampled, basically what we did is we sampled a bunch of major thirds and minor thirds, and then in the script we combined them to create the major and minor chords that are in this patch. So this is kind of the same way that we've done CineOrc, where you've got the major chords down here and the minor chords up here, and the three different inversions, right? Low, low, medium, high. It's good for accompanying melodic stuff. So those are the triads, and then we also have one here for seventh chord. So you got your major sevenths, minor sevenths, diminished sevenths. And that sounds like this. These are all the major sevenths here. Diminished up here. These are the minor sevenths. Okay, then we have horn ensemble rips. These are different than the ones that are in core. The ones that are in core rip and then sustain on the top note. These just rip right to the top and like. Okay, and then we have our famous 12 horn ensemble articulations. This is where we went and we sampled just 12 studio horn players, and the way we did is we put them right in the middle of the room, kind of shaped in a semicircle. And we did this in the same way as what I'm going to show you in a sec, the low monster brass. Those were also in the sort of same configuration in the middle of the room. So they kind of complement each other, the horns and the low monster brass. So here's the 12 horns. And here is 12 horn ensemble mutes. So we had them all put their mutes on. And that's what this sounds like. Bernard Herrmann movie. All right, so moving on to trombone solo articulations. So we had the solo trumpet, solo horn, solo trombone, and then after this I'll show you the solo tuba. So you got the four soloists there. And this sounds like this. Okay. And the trombone ensemble muted articulations. Okay. This is also just a straight mute, sort of the default mute that they put on. And that sounds like this. So you got the eighths, you know, the usual eighths, quarters, halves, and sustains. And now we have a bonus patch to show you. This is in addition to the Trombones Ensemble mutes. This is a Harmon mute articulation patch. All right, and that sounds like this. Pedal down. Just a great color. All right, so that's an all new patch for the CineBrass Pro update. And then we also have another new one for you. This is Trombones Ensemble Fluttered. Okay, and that sounds like this. Just really annoying and good. Okay, so that's a new one. And then here we are. This is the Tuba solo articulations. All new, all updated. And that goes like this. Okay, so the full ensemble effects. Now, part one is just a bunch of hits and scoops and that sort of stuff. So that sounds like this. And we also added a mod wheel, a little bit of a filter to it if you wanted to sort of adjust the volume or the timbre of it. Right. So there you go. And then part two. This is my favorite one of the effects patches because this really allows you a lot of control. Okay, so the way these clusters work is we've got 5 different kinds. First, the one at the very bottom. This is just a sustain of the cluster, and it allows you mod wheel control over the dynamic. Right? Then we have that exact same cluster up here, which is sort of a sforzando piano. So you can hear it. Okay, and then this one here is kind of a diminuendo, and then this one is a crescendo, and then this one's just a short. So what you do is you can combine them. So let's say you wanted sort of a forte piano or sforzando crescendo, right? You know, you kind of combine them. Let's say we did, I don't know. All right, so there's a bunch of cool stuff you can do. Right, and that's just with that particular cluster, but then we have, you know, and each one of these, so every B flat has the same cluster, every G has its own cluster. Okay, you get the point. Okay, and then let's move on. So we got part 3. Now this one has a couple of things. It's got sort of pitch bending horns, which sound like this. So what you do is, you know, you play the note and it stays on a constant pitch. Then as you increase the mod wheel, it adds a little bit more of a kind of a pitch bend. So. Right, and then you could bring it back to unison. And then up here we just have some other sort of colors and textures. There you go. Okay, moving on. This is the full brass Ensemble high chords. So there's two patches that go along with this. We've got the high chords, and then this one here is the low chords. And this works like the horn thing, as well as like Cine We have the major chords and the minor chords in the 3 different inversions. And that sounds like this. Right? Major. Minor. Okay. So by default, you get the shorts. And if the pedal is down, you get the longs. But you can adjust that however you want in the mapping view. Right? And they all have timbre control, so we got multiple dynamics on these. And that's all the high stuff. So really what that is, orchestrationally, is 3 trumpets and 3 trombones down an octave. That's all they're doing. Okay, and then the low chords, this is everybody playing. Horns and trombones and trumpets. Now we got major down here, minor up here, the same as before, except there's 2 inversions. The first one is with the root and the bass. So this is a C major chord with the C in the bass. And then this one is a C major chord with the E in the bass. Right? You can do some voice leading. Right? And that's the major stuff. And then the minor stuff is up here. I'm sorry. Minor stuff is here. Right. We have control over the volume too, of course. And then up here we have fifths. And then you can play, you can make your own kind of custom chords and stuff up here. You know, like chordal harmony. And it's a lot better, it's a little bit more realistic sounding when you have everyone actually playing chords and tuning with one another in the room itself, and then you create your own chords from that. That often sounds a lot more realistic than if you were to just really play a chord with a bunch of individual samples. That was the reason why we did it this way. Okay, moving on, we're almost done here. Okay, this is a brand new patch. We did release this a few months ago, sort of like an early release thing, but now it's all part of CineBrass Pro, and it's all encoded with native instruments. So for those of you who are only using the Contact Player, the Monster Low Brass now works with Contact Player. Okay, and that sounds like this. So we went again. I kind of mentioned this already. Went back to the studio, and we got 9 low brass guys. 2 of them were tuba players, contrabass trombone, and a bunch of bass trombones, and a few tenor trombones. So over the top, blatty stuff. Right? It's just too ridiculous. So then. Fun. All right, and then we have the Monster Low Brass scoops. Okay. And then we have low brass clusters. We have low brass clusters. And low brass effects. This is like all the other miscellaneous stuff. Okay. So here's another bonus patch for you. This is the Horns Ensemble Triple Forte Sustains and Shorts. Okay. We also have a mod wheel filter on it. You can't have enough horn patches, right? So that's a new one. And then we have another new one here, which is the Trumpets Ensemble Sustains and Tenuto. And that sounds like this. And the reason we did this one is because we felt that the Trumpet Ensemble Articulations, the highest sustain, wasn't quite there at that real piercing dynamic. So we resampled that. And so this is really good for layering on top of the trombone ensemble articulations of core, right? So there you go. That's everything. It's a bunch of new stuff, a bunch of old stuff that's been improved, and we are really proud of this, and we hope you guys like it. So thanks for watching, and visit us at cinesamples.com, and you can go pick up the update there. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.